Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood, with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know, or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Katie, we did it. A full year of
An
Christian
entire year.
Cringe. Locked in. So to wrap up the year, we're going to do two things. And the first thing we're going to do is kind of go through our year and find the cringiest moments of the stuff that we covered. I'm going to skip any episodes that weren't like on a specific topic, but a general conversation with friends, because
Probably best.
those are different. But technically we started the week of Christmas in 2024. So our first episode was Happy Christmas Volume 1, which was a tooth and nail compilation of punk bands covering Christmas songs. I don't think that this is going to make our bottom 5 cringy things that we discussed.
No, it was pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, there was actually too many highs, I think, on there.
Yeah.
But then we did Extreme Days, which I
Yes.
think should go down on the list as a potential contender.
I absolutely do. It's definitely in my top, 5.
Yeah,
Because-
let's see. I'm curious. There are some cringy things, but I think that that's the first truly this is what this show is about. We're talking about some shit that did not age well.
Yeah. Well, and also just structurally wasn't a great film to begin with. I also love that our guest on that podcast, Thomas Tulloch, didn't know that it was a Christian movie.
Yeah, that did add some fun to it for sure. Our 4th episode was the first of many VeggieTales episodes, and I obviously am going to just say, let's take VeggieTales off the table across the board.
We have to.
Yeah, it's too good. It's the least cringe thing.
But
that we've covered.
maybe a little bit of the second episode, because it was such a diversion from what we get in all of them. But that's not even gracing the top 10.
No, that's what I mean. I think we can skip all the VeggieTales. They're all great for the most part.
Yeah.
Exodus Journey to the Promised Land, though.
The video game.
I feel like the video game Exodus can go on the contenders list right now.
Okay.
It might not make the final 5, but I think that, making a video game where you're Moses blasting your way through Egypt while answering Bible trivia, a little
hard.
rough.
Yeah, a little hard. I'm scrolling through the Spotify list of all of our different episodes, and I'm very grateful that you have put images next to each one of these so that I can remember different things. But Quigley's Village with Nate Lopez.
Oh, we're gonna get there. Don't you worry. We have to go through a few others first. We did 2 episodes of McGee and Me this year.
We did.
I think episode 1, The Big Lie,
Ooh, that was rough.
definitely can go on the contenders list.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But not episode 2, weirdly.
No.
I think episode 2, not bad at all.
It's actually one of my favorites.
I think we can just skip right past 5 Iron February.
All of 5 Iron February was so great.
Yeah, those are all good. Your journey into the history of Testaments, while delightful, probably my favorite episode of the year. Not really cringy in that one. That's just an experience.
It's just an experience. And I still have no new information about that. So, if you're out there and you are listening to this, if you have any information on Testaments, please tell me.
Then we had The Cross and the Switchblade, which I remember not... I would say Extreme Days is more fun to watch, but I would say Extreme Days is more cringe than The Cross and the Switchblade was.
Way more cringe. I would say that The Cross and the Switchblade was actually a fairly made movie, and Woody is just such a delight. So
Woody was a great guest. That was a solid experience.
Yeah.
We covered 3 MXPX albums.
We did.
We did Pokin' At You.
Yeah.
We did Teenage Politics, and we did On the Cover. I definitely don't think On the Cover or Teenage Politics. I also don't think Pokin' At You was cringe enough.
Not enough, yeah.
There was a couple lyrics here and there, though, that
were pretty
made
cringe.
us pause.
Yeah. This made me go, oh, they grew a lot.
Yeah. Quigley's Village, though.
Oh, my God.
That one's definitely going on the list.
Yeah.
That was something.
And then, just all of it. that episode, that's definitely one of my tops of like very cringy stuff. And oh man, the imagery in that show is
nightmarish.
So nightmarish.
But also not the most nightmarish, because we have a few other ones this year. We did another edition of Catholic Cringe with Mark Hampton, where we talked about Lent.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think there's anything there. Semler's Preacher's Kid. That's one of the most uncringy things we've ever discussed.
Just like one of the winners of this year is got to be Semler's Preacher's Kid, because I enjoyed that so much. I was like, oh yeah, we don't have to do all cringy all the time.
Yeah, we can actually really be like emotionally moved by this sometimes. We also did a fun little thing that I think we should do again with them being like shorts on our YouTube channel in mind, but we reacted to comedians talking about religion. Not really anything.
Fun
episode. Not really qualifying for cringe here.
Yeah.
Nor would I even say, while it's easily one of their worst albums, the self-titled Reliant K album is not. I would say Pokin' At You by MXPX
would have been higher.
Had more cringier. We talked about Christian colleges.
Yes.
Which was fun, but I don't think I don't think anything there.
Just a general topic, and it is cringy what we talk about with my former professor and good friend Scott Akamoto. Wonderful episode. I highly recommend it if you're looking to catch up on all of our episodes. I do really enjoy that episode. It's cringy in content, but I wouldn't say it's one of our top cringeable moments.
No. Also not one of our top cringeable moments.
Kirk Franklin with
Kirk Franklin, The New Nation Project. This was a fun album to revisit.
It really was. It was like, oh, I forgot how much I knew this album.
But I do think that we do get a Catholic Cringe appearance on here, because the Catholic's Mom Life blog, 10 Catholic Customs for Mother's Day.
That was rough, yeah.
There was some shit in there that was blowing my mind.
And then we got the Seventh Heaven pilot.
We watched the pilot for Seventh Heaven.
It's pretty cringy.
It's pretty cringy. I don't think it's even top 10 material, knowing what
comes
are the
after.
next two things.
Yeah.
Because then we got Donut Hole.
Donut Hole Shop. That's 100% up there.
And then Bible Man.
Oh, God, that's right, Bible Man. Oh, Bible Man threw me for a loop. Like, literally, I didn't know what to do with myself after Bible Man. So that's definitely a very high up there.
Heidi Cox London joined us to talk about Christian camps. This is not a cringe episode by any stretch of the imagination. I think this is one of our more beautiful episodes. I
Agreed.
Loved our conversation about this so much.
Yeah, it was surprisingly delightful in, like, not really necessarily talking about the cringy stuff, but like sort of the stuff that really built community. And I loved that.
Yeah. That was a really nice change of pace. Then you got to experience Earthsuit for the first time, which right. I say Earthsuit still rules. I had a lot of fun with that album, even though it is a lot of white Jamaican.
It is
stuff.
But there is a different and worse white Jamaican
That's what I was going to say.
Refer to. Also, Pete Hutchinson, amazing.
Pete was great. Kyle for Kyle might be already climbing the ranks as one of our most frequent guests, but his first appearance, we watched the Buttercream Gang.
That's like the first thing I thought of with like what is our top 5 cringy things or cringy episodes, and Buttercream Gang is definitely.
All right, I'm putting it on the list.
Yeah.
We mentioned that we talked about MXPX, Teenage Politics. I talked about my experience on a missions trip in BBS.
Great story, really fun to revisit, but I wouldn't call that one of the cringiest.
No, and then Tessa Markle joined us to talk about worship songs that we actually think are still really good, so obviously that's not too cringy, but boy, did Salty and the Little Praisers Volume 1 show up.
Oh, yep, 100%. Yeah, definitely put that on the list.
Real rough. Then we talked about DC Talk Jesus Freak, which, not a bad time.
Not a bad time. Not a terrible out, but like I think the resulting stories that we got into with my good friend Aaron Pressberg, I think were more cringy, but I don't feel like it's quite as bad as some of these other ones.
When we move backwards in DC Talk and talk about their early hip hop albums, they're going to be contenders for whatever year we do that, because those are, I think that Jesus Freak is easily their best effort.
Yeah. And justifiably
it can't
so.
go on the list.
It
simply can't go on the list. Diallo came on and we talked about A Thief in the Night. This is not the part of the franchise that I would say should go on the cringy list. This, as awkward as it is, was a somewhat enjoyable and competently made piece of
horror
cinema
movie. Yeah. Like it actually, like, structurally kind of made a little bit more sense than others in there.
Then KJ52, 7th Avenue. We can't put KJ. I think we have a KJ safe from the cringe list, I think, forever.
Yeah. Honestly, because his lyrics are just too good sometimes.
Yeah. VeggieTales, we talked about God Wants to Forgive Them with Marie.
Yeah.
And then I think this is where we've hit our first divide, because the W's fourth from last, I think you won on the cringe list.
I would put it on the cringe list, but I feel very similar to how I felt about Earthsuit, where I'm like, out of respect, I don't need to put this on there. It was bad for me.
I'll put it on my list of cringe contenders. I don't think it's going to make our top 5, but it's worth shouting out. Similarly, the song Cartoons by Chris Rice, I think, deserves a little bit of a space on there.
Yeah.
One of the more fun episodes that I got to do was the history of What Would Jesus Do?
That was a good one.
That was a lot of fun. I want us to do more of those, I think, in the new year, is like
histories
pick
of
these weird little pieces of Christian culture, like the history of the Jesus Revolution, I think could be a fun thing. Like there is some interesting stuff that can be analyzed there, but Andy from Five Iron came back after his Five Iron February interview to bring us Striper, Soldiers Under Command, which there are some cringy moments, but that opening track is almost too goddamn good for it to make the list.
If we're comparing it next to the W's, it doesn't make the list.
No, I think that's fair. We talked to Maury about
growing up in the Assemblies of God.
Growing up in the Assemblies of God, which was a really fun, interesting,
fascinating
deep dive.
Yeah. And Maury, always welcome back on.
For sure. Kyle came back to talk about the horror film 3, which I think should go on the list. I think that's a pretty bad contender.
One. Man, Kyle is bringing us all the solid cringe.
He truly is. That's why I love that man. Yeah. Bo came on to share a story that I got so many messages from people that were just like, this is the best episode of Christian Cringe.
Same.
It was a amazing, nice time talking about a really heavy topic.
Yeah.
And we, I don't know. It was, I really do love that episode. I think that's one of our best too.
I think that's one of our gold standards for this year. And I can't wait to have him back on, because he has so many different stories. And understands this world very intimately.
For sure. Then, because of October, we talked about the deadlines, the life and death of. which is, it's got its low moments, but I would put it above the W's.
Oh, 100%.
For sure.
Yeah, in terms of like better than, yeah.
And then Andy came back to talk about A Distant Thunder.
That was rough.
Which I do think needs to go on the cringe list because that one
was rough.
Yeah, that was an experience if there ever was one.
Yeah.
Following that, we talked about the VeggieTales Are You My Neighbor? A really good episode. Then we hit a run of music.
Yeah, we did.
And we talk about Christ Safari, which, I mean, for sure.
One of the tops.
Yeah, like this was something. That was with Brock of the Pickle Home Companion. Loved having Brock on. Want Brock on again.
Yes.
Soon. Then Chris Robinson of Analog Jones brought us Carmen's Riot, Righteous Invasion of Truth. Oh. Another thing that needs to go on the contenders list.
Has to.
Then we talked about MXPX on the cover. Not bad. I introduced you to the Rocket Summer Hello Good Friend.
Wow.
Which is a hell of an album.
Yeah. Blew me away.
And then we were here in December where we talked about Reliant K's Deck the Halls, Bruise Your Hand.
Yep.
A solid album. And then I think the last truly cringy thing, Dylan Lyles came on to talk about the Bunch of Believers Scala La 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 album.
Which might be my number one cringe for this year. I strongest contender yet.
Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood, with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know, or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood, with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know, or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
All right. Well, I think we're almost done our list. Obviously, Marie came back to do VeggieTales once again, and he talked about the toy that saved Christmas last week. And now we are here with our year of cringe. All right, so I'm looking at this list. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 cringe contenders. I'm going to go ahead and comment these right in our private chat.
Thank you.
And well, I have no. I apologize for whatever format that that takes on. You know what? Actually, let's use the notepad that we don't use. There we go. It's in the notepad.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
I'm like thinking of the comparison of Christopher versus Bunch of Believers, and I don't know which one ranks out as the most cringe out of those two.
I think the first thing we can do is take out things that we think are easy removals.
Yeah.
I think the W's and cartoons by Chris Rice, we can probably say, all right, let's get rid of it.
Yeah, I'd say so. They were not my favorites, but they weren't quite as bad. I mean,
yeah.
Chris Rice has great impressions.
Yeah, he's really good at doing impressions.
Yeah.
I also don't think that McGee and Me episode hits the lows of like a Quigley's Village or a Donut Hole or any of those other shows. So I think I'm comfortable taking that off the list. And I would say the same with Exodus, Journey to the Promised Land. Like, I mean, someone built a whole ass video game. That's kind of impressive. I don't know if it's bottom 5 worthy.
I would say if we had all played it, maybe a little bit more. But I think one of the great things about that game is that it's actually kind of a fun game.
Yeah. I believe that, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that even the shittiest of 8-bit games, like Jaws, the NES game, is a terrible game, but it's still fun to play because you're still playing a video game.
Exactly. The level of play is still there.
So, all right, let's focus in on topics here. Let's look at movies. Right, we've got 4.
We have so many.
We got 4 movies on the list. We got Extreme Days. We got the Buttercream Gang. We got 3, and we got a Distant Thunder.
Yeah.
I think Extreme Days I'm cool with removing because that, as much as that barely constitutes a movie, it was not a painful watch. It was just like, this is like watching a skate video, basically.
It essentially is. Like, I mean, it's got good music when it's not being ripped off of YouTube or muted. It's got some fun bits. It's got some massively cringy bits, but in comparison to like A Distant Thunder, not quite hitting it.
I don't think A Distant Thunder is leaving this list. I think A Distant Thunder is sticking around a little bit longer. 3 might be one of my least favorite things I ever watched, but I feel like it's more that it's boring than that it's cringy. Like, I think it's a bad movie.
Right. And I will say that Buttercream Gang, as bad as it is, it was a fun time watching it and talking about it.
I think A Distant Thunder's definitively the cringiest movie we watched.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put that. That is definitely making our top 5 or bottom 5, our disgraceful 5. All right, so now let's look at the music because there's a lot of music that we still have here as well. We have Christ Safari, Carmen, and Bunch of Believers still in there. I think all 3 of them have arguments to stay.
Yeah, I agree. I hardcore agree, honestly.
I think Carmen's the one I'm more... If we have to remove one of them, I think Carmen might be the one, but...
Because he does at least have a variety of different styles of music, at least.
And they're well recorded. Like, it's obvious that there's like a production to it.
The production value is definitely high on that. So, yeah, I guess we have to maybe take Carmen off.
Carmen's escaping, but Christ Safari and Bunch of Believers, you're still sticking around.
Still there.
I am debating if we should keep the Catholic Mom's Life blog.
I don't think we should. I feel like it was cringy, but it was as cringy as a recipe book that you would find online that you could just easily skip past.
So this remains with, we have 4 TV shows that we need to narrow down to 2.
Oh, God.
And the ones that we have remaining are Quigley's Village, The Donut Hole, Bible Man, and Salty. And I feel like I'm going to say Bible Man is the first to eliminate from here because there is a lot of production value to this weird, crazy thing.
As much as it was insanely cringy, their costuming, though that it seemed like The Simpsons to me, Salty's was maybe the most offensive and weird.
I agree. I think Salty definitively stays, and then it just becomes a battle of which puppets made you more uncomfortable, Quigley's Village or the Donut Hole. This is really tough because I think that the Donut Hole has way more uncomfortable puppet stuff.
Sure.
But I feel like we were laughing, having an absolute blast watching Donut Hole, while Quigley's Village, also feels like it's really talking down at its audience and you are a messed up child if you are not responsible. It felt almost cruel in Quigley's Village in a way that Donut Hole was just like, here's a bunch of songs, kids, and sometimes puppets show up to tell you a Bible story.
Yeah. I feel like we have to take Donut Hole off because
Congratulations, Donut Hole.
can't
You are
believe
the
it.
cringe honorable mention.
yeah, yeah.
All right, so now we've got our final 5. The order comes into place here. And I say we go back and forth nominating from 5 up to 1.
Okay.
And each one of us can veto once.
Okay.
All right.
Oh boy.
So what do
five
you
being the like best of the lowest, right?
the best of the lowest? Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you seeing at number 5?
Okay.
Because I think I see what should be number 5, but I'm
Tell me what you think.
I'm just gonna say I think that the movie isn't as bad as some of the music in the TV.
I will say the movie is not as bad as the music, but it is not great compared to Quigley.
That's true.
Okay, so you're saying Distant Thunder for 5?
I think Distant Thunder, but you're
Yeah.
the person who chooses 5, so I'm not trying to maneuver you one way or the other.
Okay.
Like if you put something at 5, I'm putting a Distant Thunder at 4. Like I definitely don't think it's top 3 material.
I think it's got to be Quigley, mainly just because it at least was diverse in nature and not like hitting the same notes of the same movie that came before it or like an episode before it. I would say Quigley is like, if I had to rewatch all of these again, I'm definitely not going for a Distant Thunder first. I'll go for Quigley's Village before I do that.
I think that's fair. Well, like I said, number 4, I'm putting a Distant Thunder because as bad as a Distant Thunder is,
Yeah.
there are some decent moments here and there scattered amongst it, and it's at least like an hour and 5 minutes. It's not a feature length film, and it did leave the last like 5 minutes were so crazy that I'm ready to talk about part 3 next Halloween. Like,
I'm excited. Like, I'm not, but I am.
Now it's like, what do we
pick? This is gonna be really tough.
So the top 3,
Okay.
the ones that we have remaining here are Salty and the Little Praisers Volume 1, Christ Safari's Valley of Decision, and Bunch of Believers Scala La La La.
Okay. All right. Oh, man. For me, it's between Christafari and Salty.
Okay.
I think I've decided that I know what my number 1 is.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. How about yourself?
I think your number 1 is my number 3.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Talk me through the reasoning.
I think it's too much nostalgia glasses for me. I think.
Okay.
I think that when there was gang vocals and interesting musical choices found on the Bunch of Believers album, that was nowhere to be found on Christ Safari because every single song and also
was nice and raw.
Need I remind you, we're talking about 30 minutes of Christmas covers versus 78 minutes of the repetitive Christian reggae.
You're not wrong. Ooh, you're not wrong. Okay. With great begrudging, I'm fine with putting Bunch of Believers at number 3.
Listen, if you want to put Salty at number 3 and I put Bunch of Believers at 2, we can also do that. If you want to make sure that it's higher, I just don't think it's worse than Christ Safari.
You know, as I'm like going back and remembering it and like listening to it with my dad, like I feel like it was a nice moment with me and my dad because he loved that freaking album and I hated it. So yeah, let's put Salty at 3 and Bunch of Believers at 2.
Okay, so the final rankings are at number 5 for the cringiest thing we talked about, Quigley's Village, Episode 1, Responsibility. At number 4, A Distant Thunder. At number 3, Salty and the Little Praisers, Volume 1. At number 2, Bunch of Believers, Scala La La La. And the number 1 cringiest thing we discussed this year, Christ Safari, Valley of Decision.
Oh, wow. What a year.
What a magical year. Katie, the other thing that we're going to do is I have something very exciting to reveal to you.
I am excited to hear this.
So I think that to keep things fresh on the podcast.
Yes.
I think that we need to switch out our 10 questions
Okay.
for future guests.
Okay.
So I have a new set of 10 questions, and I am going to do the new Christian Cringe test with you, Katie Hampton.
Oh, boy.
To see if you are still a 100%er. You have not heard
Any of this.
any of these questions. I did keep two of the questions because I think they're important questions for establishing our guest credentials.
Sure.
But question number 1, have you ever identified as a Christian?
Yes.
Question number 2, did you ever attend youth group?
Yes.
Okay.
20%.
Question 3,
Oh, boy.
do you still know the words to a silly song with Larry?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, man. All right. This is a good one. I like that one.
Question number 4, was a Christian rock group ever your favorite band?
Oh, man. Yes.
Question number 5, did you attend some type of church event or activity more than the average of 3 times a week?
Ooh. Well, yes. There was a minute there in middle school that it was like almost every single day.
Same. I think I was 6 days a week doing something, whether it was a Bible study, young life, youth group.
Right.
It was a lot.
Something on school campus, something at church, something with another church's youth group. Yeah.
Was there ever a point where you were confident you'd be around to witness the rapture?
Oh, 100%. It was when the Mayan calendar was going down. Do you remember the Mayan calendar? It was like 2012 when the world was supposed to end then. I was like, okay, well, I guess this is what we do.
Question number 7. Have you ever asked somebody, did you pray on it?
Oh, you ass. Oh, you asshole. Yes.
Question 8. Have you ever linked arms with friends while listening to a praise and worship song?
If that wasn't all of camp, I don't know what was. Gosh, I'm going to be a solid 100 again, aren't I?
Yeah.
You knew this. You knew this.
Number 9. Listen, I did this to myself also knowing this. And number 9. Do you still remember the hand motions to Lord, I Lift Your Name on High?
Ooh, that's
you came from heaven to earth
to show. No.
She's doing it.
Why did you make me do that? Damn it,
and then
Matt.
I kept our last question. Do you wake up some nights in a cold sweat, remembering something you said or did when you were at your most religious?
What if I'm in a cold sweat, wide awake right now?
Katie, I am so glad that we have this podcast now.
Ditto.
I'm so glad that people really seem to like this podcast.
Yeah.
I hear from all types of people who are like, hey, low key, this is like one of my favorite shows because no one's talking about the stuff that I like grew up with.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
And I think that we come at it with, we definitely get our share of 1-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. We don't really say this much, but please rate and review. It does help us a bunch.
It does.
I think that we come to it with a compassionate and empathetic heart, even at like the cringiest and worst of things, being like, we all make mistakes.
We do. And I think that's kind of one of the beautiful things about this podcast is that I understand that there is a difference between intent and impact. And when we do laugh about these things, I think it's purely from the joy of being like, this is ridiculous,
Yeah.
And I don't think it's really out of malice or anything like that. There are cringy things that we all do. It just so happens that this whole era of very cringy content seemed to be right when we were at our teenage ness at the highest peak, and I feel like a lot of people relate to that, which has been one of the greatest things about exploring all these different media that we've been going through. And I'm really appreciative of all the people who have been reaching out to me as well and talking about the episodes and how much other people want to come on and talk about different things that I haven't heard about and impacted them. So
what we're saying is we ain't going anywhere anytime soon.
Not
so strap in for even more Christian Cringe starting next week with a new episode.
2026.
Remember when James Cameron nearly directed a Spider-Man movie?
What about when we almost got Batman Year One with Joaquin Phoenix?
Or David Goyer's Flash movie that would have starred Ryan Reynolds?
Well, if you want to learn about all the unmade superhero movies, then check out Superhero Stuff You Should Know.
Hosted by Ben Wan and Alex Ramsey, every month we cover nostalgic superhero movies with deep dives into unmade scripts, early drafts, deleted scenes, alternate cuts, concept art, novelizations, and tie-in novels.
We also interview the people involved in making the superhero films of our childhood, with our past guests including superhero actors, directors, screenwriters, and concept artists.
So remember, that's Superhero Stuff You Should Know, or Superhero SYSK on social media. Check us out on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.